Welcome back to Plague Tale. So now, welcome to Chapter 16, Coronation.
Okay. Brainwashed by
so he was brainwashed by him. I wonder, does that in-between thing ever explain how Nicholas got those powers?
No, the game will never. The game will never address that, Jova. Sorry.
Well,
I will give the game this. At least they did clarify that yes, Hugo was brainwashed, like I thought.
yeah, I was thinking that too.
Mm-hmm. Again, it was mainly for the purpose of the end of Amisha's arc, where she apologizes to Hugo, she hugs him, and tries to assure her best that she's sorry for what she did. And now with their newfound trust and love, now they can work together as equals and save their mother.
You see, in the end, the curse was foiled by the power of love.
Basically, yeah. That's basically what this game is about. Sibling love.
And the best part is that now the rats are on our side.
I mean, both friendship and sibling love. Think of it. Remember, we also have Melly. Remember, there was even that point when we first found the chateau where Melly even gave some advice to Amisha on Hugo. Look, brothers can be a pain sometimes. But trust me, it's worth it, because they will save us, and they will save you in the end. And look at that, Melly was right.
I wonder, is it intentional that now that we can control rats, we can't find much out, even though it's perfectly dark outside?
We can. It's just that now the rats are not as aggressive because the Hugo has passed the final threshold now. So.
Also, Hugo, she is fine. She just wants to kill a guy or two. Or 33.
Yeah, she's a bit angry because she lost her. But think of it like this, Hugo. Imagine if you lost your sister. That probably would get you a bit miffed too. So
this is arguably also a point where it's better for the nation as a whole, because Vitalis is clearly not going to stop.
No, Vitalis is completely drunk on power. He's gone full bonkers. He's gone.
And I've got a bad feeling about what those white rats may be for.
Yep. We'll get to it. First, we have to get to the church.
Have faith. In the meantime, we have a job to do. Right, I'm going back.
Be careful.
Oh, shit.
What?
Hey!
I can explain.
Basically, they'll serve as a distraction so that we can try to.
Making it a bit difficult to run.
Well, it protects them against the rats.
Okay.
Theory.
All right, that one's for you, Roderick.
Nothing like a good old French takedown.
I might have got a little carried.
Do I get to kill someone next to me, Chia?
Oh, don't you worry, Hugo. No, also, Hugo, not for nothing, you just fucking killed Lord Nicholas. Don't worry, Hugo. You'll have your rats will have plenty to feast on until the game is over.
Again, though, ironic that the one time when we could use more rats around, there aren't many rats around.
There are. It's just that they're all underground. They're quiet and waiting for Hugo to tell them to do something.
Around.
Yeah. Basically, the idea now is that forgot the rest of the game. It works like this: you can use rats. However, you have to make sure there's no lights around, obviously. So yeah, this is another cool. Again, this is another thing that also helps in really, in my opinion, really keep you distracted from the logical plot holes that we've already discussed, because the game does such a great job making up for it by really having a really cool structure. Like we've spent the entire game loving light because the light kept us safe, and now light is actually a detriment to us because it prevents us from using our greatest weapon. So again, the game is a really cool. Again, it's stuff like this that really makes the whole game come together. Yeah, when you hold L2 to target with rats, red revolvers indicate hordes trapped beneath the ground. So basically, yeah, you can hold L2, and there you go. See, notice that red thing? That means there's rats under there. Problem is, there's a torch lit, so they can't come out. So you probably already know what I have to do. Extinguish.
Huh. make some.
Again, from a gameplay standpoint, it helps keep the gameplay fresh because you're now using all these mechanics that you've used throughout the entire game in completely different ways.
All right, guys, come on out.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
So even if we come across these guys, they won't overrun us as long as Hugo's with us, right?
Yes. There you go, Hugo. See? I told you you'd get to kill people.
Wow.
Yes, Roderick, you've said that twice now.
Is she right? So, Hugo, satisfied?
No.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying because it was Shira who brought up Hugo's first for blood thing. So go on,
Yeah.
go on, Shira.
I need more.
Well,
Don't worry, you'll get more. Plenty more, especially at the Cathedral.
Mm-hmm. Plenty of rats. Oh, look at that.
How ironic is it? The very things that once gave us dread are now possibly our best friends.
Also, yeah, that's what I love about that joke. Again, it's such a cool twist, for lack of a better word. You know, the game does a good job in keeping things fresh with stuff like this. Anyway. Yeah. Also, yeah, as you can see, the entirety of the capital is starting. The capital is starting to get really buried into rat poo. All right.
However, for some reason, these rats don't want to listen to Hugo now.
They do actually.
Oh.
It's just that I didn't. It's just that I didn't use the ability. There was no need to. So.
Oh well, it's like he said they don't want to listen to me for some reason there.
Oh, did he?
I didn't catch
Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. Okay. Probably, maybe what you heard, Jova. Again, I wasn't paying attention, but maybe what you've heard is maybe me trying to use the rats while there was lights around. Because if you try to use the rats while there are lights around them, they will not listen to you because, well, you know, we've already established why. So.
I wonder if that also works when you try and target something that can't really be targeted, so that's why.
There's that too. It's the game's way of indicating the limitation of the ability, because you know they obviously they don't want you to be able to point to every single little thing in the distance, because that would just break the game. Basically, if you could just I mean the rats are going to be much more powered in the sequel, but obviously the sequel will actually be designed with that in mind, so of course it's going to be fine.
That kind of does raise the question, though. If the rats are on our side, who's going to be the main enemy in the sequel? I mean...
Well, Joe, you kind of already are starting to guess based on your previous comments, if you know what I mean.
Oh, snap. But that would mean... Oh, boy.
Yep. Things are going to heat up in the next part, Jova.
I imagine such.
All right. Again, it's another. That's the other thing. Even though the game gets kind of cuckoo with its handling of the material sometimes, it does feel like a genuinely exciting climax still. So as a result, it's just one of those cases where it's just like, you know, I'm invested, I'm excited, so I'm willing to forgive the logical flaws.
Yeah, they definitely do well with having things ramp up more and more as things proceed.
Mm-hmm.
The good very easily outweighs the bad, like in this game.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
Oh, definitely. Again, you can tell as Zobo's sort of poured their heart and soul into this. This was a passion project for them. Like this was like their big. Because remember, before this, they've only made Disney tie-in games. This was their big magnum opus, like their attempt at genuinely proving themselves as a genuine player in the big leagues. Go on.
The worst quote unquote that we've gotten so far is just Nicholas having those fire powers out of nowhere, and maybe kind of the rat tornadoes. But honestly, aside from that, again, logical extreme. Well, as logical as you can get in a world where people can control rats with it. Now, again, I give the whole controlling rats thing a pass because, at the very least, it does feel like they were slowly but surely building up to that revelation with Hugo.
Mm-hmm.
So, I definitely can give that one more of a pass here. The Nicholas one, though, no, like, I mean, look, again, it is cool. Do not get me wrong. It is a wonderfully cool boss fight. But holy cow, does it not make sense in context?
Like, literally would have been fine if they just tried to explain it away with alchemy. Like,
Okay.
That would have been enough for me personally.
Yeah.
Same.
You're actually this game sucks. I'm too hung up on the. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Too
Dwebs.
many people on fire. 0 out of 10.
Alright, Dwebs, I'm guessing, aside from this playthrough of this game, your only familiarity with Ozobo Studio is Flight Simulator,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay. Because,
Flight simulator. Yeah. 0 out of 10. You can't fly things in the escape.
Maybe we'll be able to fly in the sequel. Who knows?
I mean, we already did the main console version. Maybe one day we can try and commentate on their Toy Story 3 game. Because remember, they made the PS2 and PSP versions of Toy Story 3. So.
Oh, he has a torch.
Wait, that's a torch or a flaming, bludgeoning? I guess.
No, I got it. Light yourself on fire.
No, that's
Nick,
a trick only Nicholas knows.
If it helps
for
it-
some reason.
if it helps you, Dwebs, Nicholas is the only one who lights himself on fire in this game.
It looked like that god was using a weapon that was on fire, though. Maybe sure is right.
It's-
That was
I
just
think, I think
big
it.
metallic torch.
It looked like he was just brushing a torch along.
Yeah, it was like a metallic torch of sorts, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the Inquisition is already aware that, well, not just in terms of aware. Like, remember, the rats keep getting more and more because I mean, there's so much rat poo. You know, this is all a matter of them. They know that they're in danger if they don't carry lights with them. So it's just a natural escalation of what's been happening up until this point. Yeah, basically. But yeah, like I was saying, maybe one day I'll record their version of Toy Story 3, because whereas Avalanche Software made the console and PC versions, the PS2 and PSP versions were made by Asobo Studio. They also made the handheld version, the PS2 and PSP versions of WALL-E. I don't think they did for Up. I'll have to look it up though. But yeah, basically before this game, they only had made Disney tie-in games, and not even the major tie-in games, the lesser ones for the lesser consoles. So that's why I was so interested in this game when it first. Wait, Asobo Studio. What have I heard that name before? And then I looked it up. Wait, okay, quite the jump from making Toy Story 3 for the PS2. Huh.
Done with this talking toy nonsense. I want to make a story about the plague.
And
Let's see what other ventures we have to find on our way to the cathedral.
Yeah,
Exactly.
honestly, it shows, range, I guess. Like,
well, this, like I said, remember, it's the same thing with Avalanche Software. Avalanche Software worked on the Toy Story 3 game that we commented on. And now they're making Hogwarts Legacy, which is their first major AAA game on the same scale as something like this. Except Hogwarts Legacy is much more of an open world game, because you can explore the entirety of the school, basically. So basically, it's both Asobo and Avalanche who have managed to really transition from Disney tie-in developers to major mainstream develebers,
Wasn't Asobo doing stuff even before their Disney tie-in days, though?
Probably. I haven't looked that far. Probably, but up before this game, that was what they're mostly known for. I mean, maybe they've been making smaller games before that, maybe, but the first major work they got with any kind of attention was their tie-in Disney games, obviously. So
Let me have another check.
go on.
Let's see. Before Ratatouille, which was their first Disney tie-in game, they did stuff like Super Farm for the PS2,
I don't know what that is.
Sitting Ducks for the PS2, The Mummy the Animated Series for the PS2,
Oh, another tie-in game.
Nemesis Strike for the PS2, Xbox, and PC. Garfield: The Tale of Two Kitties for the PS2 and PC.
not at a game?
So mostly tie-in games, basically.
I'll take care of it.
So let's see, what is Super Farm? Oh, it's a party video game with a farmyard theme developed by Asobo. The story is that, centering on the only female who appears to be a beautiful, full-figured, blonde-hair prized turkey hen named Pamela. She had made quite an impact down on Super Farm, but when one day she is snatched away, only to be sold at the local meat factory, starts a hilarious and frantic chase to save her. Riveting.
Interesting.
Let's see. Up to 4 players must select and control 1 of 10 anthropomorphic male animals, alongside 6 other super farm animals who are hidden. 6 game modes such as cooperative play, team play. So basically, it's a bunch of animals wanting to rescue the only female animal, and they made that a party video game.
All right.
So yeah, like I said, Azobo Studios come a long way.
I try to think of a joke, but there's so many.
I know, right? Like, what is this, Mario Party, except we're actually trying to save Peach during the Mario Party?
Holy crap! This developer is really promising. They made this really great game that is on par with the best AAA games of recent years. What else did they do? Oh, they made a Garfield tie-in game. Okay.
And they did Super Farm. You can't just not pay attention to Super Farm.
Where a bunch of thirsty male farm animals want to ruffle the feathers of a blonde turkey.
Gotta start somewhere.
Like,
Why do
honestly,
I feel like it's supposed to be a Mario Party, like, parody?
it really does seem like that. It's even a party video game. Like, honestly, I am kind of tempted to check this out. Like, there's so little info on it, yet the little I've heard has just intrigued me as such.
Indeed.
In terms of other stuff Azobo Studios did, like we mentioned, they did do Recore, which...
Okay, allow me to clarify that, because I actually know that. The original version of Recore was co-developed by Concept, but not Recore was a Keiji Inafune game, with Armature helping out. Armature Studios, I think there's no Armature Studios was studios formed by former Retro Studios developers, specifically the people who worked on the Metroid Prime trilogy, basically.
If I recall correctly, the ironic thing is that was one of the few Xbox One exclusives for the longest time before they eventually added it to PC, if I recall correctly.
Yes, and the PC version that also got put on the Xbox One via free update for the original version is the Definitive Edition, and that Definitive Edition had quite a lot of improvements, a lot of fixes, and a lot of refinements, and it was Azobo Studio who handled all those refinements on request of Microsoft. My guess is that's where Microsoft possibly started the relationship they had with Azobo Studio, so later on, when it came to making Flight Simulator, they came to us, hey guys, we want to make a Flight Simulator, you guys are interested? And apparently they were. And apparently,
later game.
Dwebs, that would be a better question for Dwebs, since he's the one who actually owns that. But he's burped apparently, so I guess you have to wait on that to get the answer. Aside from that, remember, Plague Tale Requiem has exclusive marketing rights with Microsoft, which is why it's only been shown in Microsoft conferences, and it's going to come out, and they also made a deal with Azobo Studio and Focus Entertainment, the publishers, to have Plague Tale Requiem Day 1 on Game Pass.
I'm curious, so in terms of being the definitive version, is Recore on the PC, an absolutely, okay, how drastic a different experience are we talking about from the original?
It's not a drastically different. Okay, the gameplay is much tighter. The story's still fine, but definitely there's still the missed potential. But I will argue that
they actually touched up the story for the re-release.
No. The story is still the same. That's what I meant. Okay. The story is still the same because obviously the Definitive Edition is just a gameplay refinement thing. There was no actual change in the content, basically.
So I guess to put it like this, would you say it was enough of a gameplay change that pretty much takes care of the issues with the gameplay that people had with the original version?
I will argue even the original was fine-ish, honestly, but yeah, it definitely could use some work still.
Well, from what I recall, a lot of people and you telling me, and again from what I saw of the game, was it had a good idea on paper.
Yeah, it did.
But its gameplay was a bit.
The execution was a bit flawed. Yes, the Definitive Edition went out of its way to really fix a lot of gameplay issues. it's one of those things where, okay, let me put it this way. The thing about ReCore is that it's a game that has missed potential in it, but like it has some really cool ideas. It has genuinely endearing characters here and there. It's one of those cases where you can see it's one of those cases, Joker, where the game is not great, but when you play it, you can see the great game beneath the missed potential. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, I totally get what you mean. Basically, it's like if Mighty Number 9 was actually decent to start off with.
Recall, is that one that Concept were involved with?
Yes.
Yes. Basically, again, here's the thing. It's sort of like how I feel with Mighty Number 9, except Mighty Number 9 was god-awful. But like with Mighty Number 9, I could see the potential in it, essentially. Like, because like the potential is right there with Mighty Number 9, just like the potential is right there with ReCore, which seems to be a running theme with KJ and Inafune projects.
See, here's the thing. Not to mention, as far as KJ and Inafune projects are concerned, it's such a different thing for him to do. Because get this, ReCore at its core is a Metroid, a Metroid-style explorative platformer that also has a focus on fights against robots. Again, Keiji Inafune. And there's a lot of platforming in it. And I genuinely mean that when I say platformer, I don't mean there's occasional platforms. No, there's a crap ton of platforming challenges, like typical stuff that you'd see in a Mario game or a Sonic game or whatever you want to call. And it's all packaged within a post-apocalyptic. Well, not post-apocalyptic, but like an alien world where very few people are in there, but they're stranded, and instead of being a cartoony platformer, it's a realistic graphic style platformer. How many of them do you see? Really? So it's a game that definitely has a uniqueness to it that at the very least makes it interesting, if nothing else.
The consensus of critiques I've seen with it seemed to be that the game had very insufficient design choices, unsuccessful loading screens, combat.
Don't even get me started. On the Xbox One, maybe it's better on the X and Series X and S, but on the original Xbox One, the load times are so freaking long. Fortunately, if you're
talking like Wrath of Cortex bad,
yeah, about on that level, I would say. That being said, if you do play the definitive edition on PC with an SSD, as I have, that gets and like I said, the definitive edition went out of its way to try to polish the game up as much as possible, basically. As opposed to did the best they could with what they were given.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. I don't blame them for how that turned out. And again, they were doing their best to make the best of I don't want to say bad situation, but it wasn't necessarily
the best
a good situation either.
An unfortunate one. Let's call it an unfortunate one.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. So Dwiz, how was the Microsoft Flight Simulator game of 2020? Since Asobo Studios apparently developed that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's what you'd expect in a flight simulator game. Although, truth be told, I haven't tested it myself because because money. But it might work better with. It's one of those games. The optimal experience is with peripherals, like with race simulation games.
It's
like
interesting.
You're not missing out if you do with just a controller. But the most authentic way you can is with like a joystick.
Sure.
Or if you really have a lot of money, a close-ish that you could get actual flight control deck.
It's a shame.
Wait. There's actually a peripheral for that?
Possibly. I mean, if you look hard enough.
Oh, hold on. The final flower of the game.
Survived all this?
Yes, it's a warrior. It defends itself.
It's a flower.
It's like us then.
That's right. It's your flower.
Thank you, Hugo.
And now it's a bloom
Yeah.
in the battlefield.
Christmas rose.
Okay, I'll be fair to him. Ever since since ever since we rescued him, he's really toned down on the mummy thing.
Well, you can say that maybe he's all of this stuff that's happened over the course of the game. He has matured somewhat. So, I mean,
I do think it is a bit of a missed opportunity that we didn't get like sort of a good look at what happened to him over that month, and the whole him being brainwashed by Vitalis thing. It is a shame that has to be confirmed by text, mind you.
That's what I'm.
That being said, it's not the worst thing, but I do wonder if this is a result of, again, like, even though this is a much bigger indie game than usual, at the end of the day, it's still an indie game that can only put so much into.
Gotta cut corners somewhere. Yeah. Where was I? It's a shame on the topic of the flight simulator thing goes. I do think it's a bit of a missed opportunity on myself that the PC version of that game doesn't support the Oculus Rift, because when it comes to a game where the whole point is to simulate the experience of flying in a plane, that kind of game is perfect for a VR set, because it allows you to add even extra immersion. Like combined with that peripheral, I get the feeling it would be a really cool experience with the game. All right, moving on.
Fire, the very thing that was our salvation against the rats, is now our greatest enemy.
I know, right?
Irony.
I know. But that's the thing, Joe. I love the irony. I love the irony on this. It's so cool and smart.
All this time we spent hiding from the rats and running to the fire. Now we're running from the fire into the rats. Although, admittedly, there was that other time we were running from the fire when we were with Roderick. But still, for the most part, that was kind of a desperation bout. This is just full-on irony.
Yep. What do you think, Shiro? Do you like the ironic twist involving... Okay. Alright.
You better not die too, Roderick.
Yeah, just don't breathe for a few minutes.
My father used to say,
yeah.
It's fire that forges the blacksmith.
Cool.
I bet Roderick would really love this show, Forged in the Fires.
Oh, you watch that too?
Yes. Does it show up for you on the BBC channel?
No, we watch it on Netflix, I think.
Oh yeah, we got it on Netflix here too. Forged in the Fire.
Forged in the Fire. I can't say I've heard of it.
Basically, it's a game show where people have to work with metallurgy to make weapons, and based off of who makes the best weapon for each phase and whatnot overall, you of course win the prize. It's kind
a
of
smithing competition, basically.
Yeah. It's kind of like cosplay battle, except, you're working with weapons instead of the costumes.
Forged
also,
in
these
Fire.
people either...
Forged in Fire. It's on Discovery Plus.
Okay. So Deb's question might as well ask.
Yeah.
Do you... hold on.
Oh, right, I should correct myself. The show is actually Cosplay Melee that I was thinking of.
Alright. Okay, well, let's might as well ask then. Since you have the means to, will you not, after what everything that you've seen so far, are you going to check out the sequel when it comes out? It's on Game Pass. It's going to be on Game Pass day one. So, and since you're going to be playing on the Series S, you'll be able. Well, actually, no, I forgot. The game is actually only on the Series S and PS5. It's not on the other consoles. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was just to say maybe, but I might check out some other older Xbox exclusives first. I'm interested in at least trying Recore, since you mentioned it.
Oh, sure. Like I said, Recore is one of those games where it's not great, but it could have been great. And when you're playing it, you can see it. You can see the great game fighting to come out. And it's just sad that it doesn't come out.
Think about it like this, Jibs. You know how Mighty Number 9 was supposed to be the Mega Man game that the world was lacking at the time?
and yet it didn't. It has to age over. The year before that, we had a Mega Man collection.
All right.
Well, Mega Man Collection or not, my number 9 was like an actual brand new Mega Man game. Mind you, this is before Mega Man
All right. Let me.
11, so you get the idea.
Sorry to interrupt for a second. Did we literally just save their lives only for them to run into archers and die?
Wait, you mean Melly and Lucas? No, Melly and Lucas are fine, Sherry.
Oh no, the two who are just thanking us right now.
Oh, that. Well, that's the thing, Shiroi. The Inquisition apparently is really shooting on sight, it seems. So.
Well, shit.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Tune in next time where we take it to Vitalis and finish the game.
See you then.
See ya.
See ya.